Howdy guys, welcome back to cruzermans Inventions. Today we're going to be looking at how to rewire the outside field wires of the inside of this alternator. Now this alternator is being reconverted, of course, which means the bridge rectifier has been taken out, which is this piece here, which we didn't need no more. But what I'm going to be focusing on is the wiring diagram right here and how that's wired. Okay, so whether this is for your car or for an e-bike and it's reconverted for an e-bike, it doesn't matter. This still applies because it's the wiring diagram for this. The three-phase coil, outside wire stator, and as you can see, you see all the slots in here, they all count for one. And what I mean by that is there is 36 slots in this outside stator. There is 36 slots in this washing machine motor. These two here are wired differently. They are both three-phase brushless motors. Okay, so, but the difference being, the washing machine motor is wired like this. I've just rewired it in three phases and then tied it off at the end as either a 12-volt motor or a 12-volt generator. Now, if you were to apply this wiring diagram to this coil, it would look like this. So I quickly demonstrated there's the three phases there. That's, you know, your green, your black, and your red, positive, negative, earth. And then you tie off the three ends here, but you keep that whole loom going all the way around, and once you completed right on the 36, that's when you'd soldered the three wires off at the end. If I can get a good shot in here, you might be able to see the way it laps. See the way it laps through here? I'm going to try that one day because I believe that this continuum in this wiring diagram is way better than this. Anyways guys, let's get back to the lucky wiring diagram that I've been spending so long on, guys. So let's work out how this is wired. So I have a few things here that actually help me. Of course, this is wired with 1.5mm thick wire, and so I had to use some things that actually help me. I used this stick, which is 1 inch thick by 2 inches wide, and why that is because when you wrap the wire around, it's got to miss a couple of poles each turn, and it's the perfect diameter for this, for every loop like this. Okay, there's 6 of these and 3 of those that have to go into this. Okay, so I made up the stick, and what this is there's 288 turns per alternator. It's a 3-phase wiring tool. Okay, phase 1, yeah. See, this is it's still a 12x1 motor, the alternator, same like that washing machine motor. That's a 12x1 too. Now, it's 16 turns per one of these, times 6 equals 96 turns, guys, per phase. And what I mean per phase is this whole 6 looms here is the one phase. That'll be like the positive loom. It's all connected like that. Okay, so that'll be that one there all the way around, and of course they're spaced evenly all the way around the whole 6. Okay, I can try and look down on this. So now we've established that we've wound this. This is what this is, basically 16 turns. Here we go. Clockwise. Here we go. Car alternator, 12-volt, 100-amp wiring. Phase 1, well, all of the phases are with 1.5mm wire, and they're all wound clockwise all the way through. So let's just have a look at that. That's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and I've coloured them in, guys, so that you can see. And now here's them so that you can, makes it easier. Use your numbers and your colours to help you as much as you can. So in phase 1, it's like this. Oh, here we go, guys. So when you've got an empty one of these, what you want to do is number all the way around. And if I can get this thing to focus properly, I've numbered all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around, right to 36. And you see the number is above that slot, the slots. And then it gets tied off at the end where this one would have been. But I'm just doing that as a demonstration, right? And now what these magic numbers are is in phase 1, where this first one belongs, which would be this red one, is 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28. So those are them there. So that's where they're supposed to land. You see what I mean? See where the numbers are? That's where they slot into. That one, and then it comes over into the next one. So it's supposed to land like this in phase 1. It does a jump from 1, then to 4, and it'll be like that. And then it does a jump from 4 to 7, and then to 10. If I explain this first one out like this, you'll get it better, okay? All in the red is where it jumps. 1 to 4, 1 to 7, 1 to 10. And that's what those numbers are up there. It's the magic formula for the first phase, the second phase, and the third phase. Okay, coming down here, of course they're always tied off at the end. So I've marked out, keep those numbers in mind because that's where they come in. These here, this graph is like this, been split and flattened out along a piece of paper. And this is what it looks like. And remember, you always skip 2, and then you put that one in, then you always skip 2. And the strangest thing is when it starts overlapping, when you get, see in the second one's like this, but when you really get down to the third one, it's like this. I'm going to go back to that other one, guys. See how it overlaps? Like that. The first one, second one, third one, then it's almost like nothing, and then it starts all over again. And if you look at that pattern, it's not hard to remember these numbers. And if you look at this, if you start to look at this long enough, you'll start to see a pattern. Look at this for a minute, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They just follow after each other. But they actually overlap over each other by the time it gets down to all of them being in this. So let's go back to the second one. As you can see, it started on the second. 5, done a little loop. Those little loops there are just those. These are all got to be connected, and only use wire that has that lamination on it. Don't use any wire without no shellac because it won't work. And so yeah, the diagram of phase 1. The diagram of phase 2. The diagram of phase 3. These, when I looked at the diagram, they were all turning clockwise. All of the coils, none of them were actually, it wasn't clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise. See, in the center here, the electromagnetic part, it goes positive, negative anyways, and it creates its own backwards, forwards field within the AC line here, and then, you know. So getting back to the third one here, so this is the third one, and the way that that's configured. See, if you look at it long enough, there's a pattern to it, and it just goes over and over and over until it just completes the whole thing. Yeah, guys. So I spent pretty much the last 2 days doing this whole picture up, guys, just to show you all of that. That's what it is, guys. So that is the basics of wiring. Oh, well, this is the wiring diagram. I think it's of an 80 amp alternator. So yeah, as long as you keep those numbers in your mind, that's the magic formula right there. This is the way they're spaced. Each phase, your positive, I'm just going to say positive, negative, and earth, so that you know, get a better idea. But it's actually, they're alternating phases. You can wire them, this one clockwise, this one anti-clockwise if you wanted, clockwise, anti-clockwise, it doesn't really matter. You can wire these all anti-clockwise and it'll still work. So it's preferable, okay? So yeah, back to this one, and as long as I go over this, yeah, the more and more you go over this, the more and more you get familiar with it. Now, this is just based all on this. This is one of the hardest things to wire, and this is why I made that pole up, and you know, I made all those turns of wire on this and like this, because it's easier to do this and then fit those into the slots. So I hope this has been helpful, and you anybody feel free to use this sheet as a reference to rebuild your car alternator or your e-bike alternator motor. Okay, I just hope I've got enough view in there for you so that you get a good idea, guys. Awesome. Okay, so don't forget to number it, use your colors. Let's just focus on for a minute the inside of that. That's electromagnetic. That's the one I use on my e-bikes and stuff. You can put permanent magnets in it. You can use ring magnets like that off out of speakers, you know, or you can use maybe you've got an old washing machine one with heaps of magnets in the side there, and you could do that. Positive, north, south, north, south, north, south, all the way around. As long as it was close enough to this, it would work. Yeah. These alternators have been used for many of things, e-bike motors, in cars, as, you know, windmills, all kinds of things, guys. But this video is just mainly about the wiring diagram and getting you up and running again. So cool, guys. I shall be back again with another video soon, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Cruzerman out, guys. Cool, guys.